Welcome to Women's Rugby Rundown 200 for May 5th through the 11th. We're stepping away from our usual format this week to celebrate a milestone as we mark our 200th episode and 19 years of YSC Rugby. I didn't set out to make a show, I just wanted to make sure people knew what was happening in women's rugby because very often those stories weren't being told. What began as a few scattered updates has grown into weekly coverage of 33 unique competitions around the world. From the top test teams to emerging leagues, WRR brings it all together in one place. Now let's get into the news. Villorba were crowned Italian champions. The Black Ferns extended their streak over Australia in Pac 4, and Latvia stayed perfect in the European Conference with another shutout over Norway, also moving them up to 38th in the world rankings. Zimbabwe Rugby Union leadership is facing suspension over the treatment of national team players. Looking ahead, the Asia Rugby Championships kick off. Uganda's final is on deck, and the Iberdrola title will be decided in Spain. I'm Wendy, here to bring you the latest in women's rugby news. This is your Women's Rugby Rundown, and we're about to kick off for the 200th time. Let's start with 15 news. The Black Ferns extended their unbeaten streak over Australia to 28 wins with a 38-12 victory in Newcastle in their first matches of the Pac 4 series. Latvia remained unbeaten in the 2024-25 European Women's Conference after a dominant shutout of Norway. This is both their first time in this competition, so Latvia particularly doing very well. They won 27-0 in Oslo to go with their earlier 50-0 victory last fall, while Romania and Croatia also sit at 1 win apiece. This competition will conclude in the summer, so we're expecting more matches to be announced soon. Zimbabwe Rugby Union President Losan Matan Gwiza and Women's Rugby Chair Regina Mwandiwa have been suspended over allegations of mistreating senior women's national team players during and after the Rugby Africa Women's Division Cup. And I'm going to look at my notes here because this is quite a bit. It's quite scandalous. They were only given their $150 allowances after 1 week of national duty, so that's not enough. They were forced to return the kits they used, including traveling tracksuits. But really where this gets disgusting is the suspension was sparked by a leaked audio in which the president threatened players with a life ban if they complained publicly about the treatment they were receiving. After the audio went viral, the Sports and Recreation Commission summoned the Zimbabwe Rugby Union to respond to the allegations. This was followed by fans' protest at the SRC offices asking for their dismissal. Like we mentioned at the top of the video and we've been doing for a few weeks, there is lots of rugby to come this summer. First up this weekend, Japan and Kazakhstan will take the first steps of the Asia Rugby Women's Championship. Japan, of course, defending their title. Then on May 16th and 17th, more Pac 4, New Zealand and Canada, Australia and USA. And also on May 17th, the Black Pearls will play the Thunderbirds in the Uganda Premiership. We may actually have that wrong because there's conflicting reports, but we believe it's the championship weekend. We'll keep you updated. And then it goes on from there. May 18th, Krat and CR Mahajahanda will play in the Iberdrola Spain title and more throughout the weekend. We'll switch over to Premier and Club news. Villorba claimed back-to-back titles and their third overall after defeating Valsugna 15-5 in the 2024 Series A Elite Final. In round 8 of WER, Denver held on to the top spot with a win over Twin Cities, while Boston moved into second after beating the Bay Breakers, who scored 4 tries and got a bonus point, and now are tied with New York. WER also announced that the Legacy Cup will be Sunday, June 29th at the TCO Stadium. And for fun, we wanted to kind of take a look, since we're past the halfway part of the season, where are these teams and what's the likelihood of them reaching the final? There is no semifinal this year. Denver, obviously, probably a lock unless they stumble in these next few weeks. Boston Banshees have an 85% chance looking at the rest of the schedule. Bay Breakers, a 60% chance. New York, 45%. Seems actually a little bit low because they could be building. And then, of course, TC Gemini, 10% chance. Tempest, less than a 1% chance. The 2025 Elite 1 final in France will be held May 31st. It'll be viewable on Sport 360 and France 4 as part of a doubleheader with the top 14. It's a major milestone in France. Semifinals are set for May 24th or 25th. Only Bordeaux has officially clinched it, but Blagnac and ASM Romagna and Toulouse are also in strong positions to lock in their spots. Week 13 of the Uganda Premiership saw wins for the Thunderbirds, Black Pearls, Panthers, and She-Wolves. And now the Thunderbirds and Black Pearls will face off for the Uganda Premiership Championship this Saturday. That's what we believe. You can see the upcoming matches here, but we have seen some conflicting reports that it's the last week of play. So we're trying to get some of those details and we'll update as we can. The USA Club National Championships are this weekend in Indiana starting on Friday. You can watch all the matches for free on the Rugby Network. There's a free account that is required. In D1, we'll see Metropolis Valkyries taking on Nova, who are the defending champions. The Sharks will see Utah. Then in D2, Grand Rapid Growlers versus Phoenixville Whitehorse. And Tampa Bay Crew, the defending champions, will take on Las Vegas. We sometimes get asked how long we'll be doing what we've been doing. It's been 19 years. We were established in 2006. And then we've done 200 episodes of Women's Rugby Rundown, and I don't really have an answer to that. You know, sometimes I do get tired. But it's the messages from fans and the posts that you share that keep us going. If WRR keeps you connected to the game, keep tagging us and sharing it, and then we'll keep growing. Of course, never miss an episode of Women's Rugby Rundown. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Patreon, or any of your favorite social media platforms. Thanks for hanging out with us for our 200th episode.